Hey there, welcome to the Soul Lounge. We're inside the VIP room with a group that I recently discovered, and I'm so glad that I did, and I'm even more excited about bringing them here to you. Welcome, Waterseed. How are you?
Hey,
Great.
thanks for having us.
Yes, it's so good to have you all here. Now, before we start, I got to get everyone to introduce yourself and tell me what part you play in the collective. So why don't we start here?
My name's Sinise. I am the flautist, and I do some background vocals.
Nice.
Lou Hill, drums.
Jay, I play keyboards and do some vocals.
Okay.
I'm Shalia, the lead vocalist.
All right. Very good. Well, welcome. So now, why don't we start at the genesis? Because you all have this amazing story. Your bio reads like a book. It is really good. So I want to start. Let's start in New Orleans.
Okay.
Because that's where you're from, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. How did it start?
Well, it actually started on the campus of Xavier University in New Orleans as a writing team. Myself and two other friends basically came together, decided we wanted to write music. It grew from there. I think I had an experience where someone tried to perform one of the songs that we wrote for them, and it was not very good. So we decided that, hey, why not, just go ahead and put a band together, and we went ahead and did that, and that was the birth of Waterseed. Then shortly after that, we actually moved to the D.C. area and started playing around D.C. a little bit. We actually pulled down a little contract, whatever record deal here out of Alexandria, released our first product. After that was released, went back home to New Orleans, and somewhere in that time, I think we ran into Jay Sharp here, and so he would come up to D.C., do some shows with us. Moved back to New Orleans, kind of getting everything situated, built a little studio, all the rest of that stuff. Really about to release our next project, and Hurricane Katrina hit. We kind of evacuated to the Atlanta area, where we all connected. We found Sinise first, and then a few years later we found Shalia, and we've been at it ever since, just doing as much as we can.
Well, let me tell you, we're going to hear from some of the music that you've all released in a little bit. And I want to also talk about the influence of Hurricane Katrina on your band itself and then also the music. But New Orleans, that style obviously plays a huge part in the music because you can't put your thumb in it. It's indescribable in the way that New Orleans is. Like when someone wants to describe New Orleans, they're like, it's New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Right.
It is what it is. So I imagine that sort of mashup of cultures and music influenced your sound.
Correct. It did. And myself and Jay Sharp were actually raised in the New Orleans musical environment. The ladies, since we've just moved back to New Orleans, the ladies are now kind of getting a feel for it.
Okay.
But we were raised in that musical environment. And I mean, Jay could probably tell you about kind of the gauntlet or the rites of passage that every musician goes through in New Orleans, which is crazy.
Tell me about it. So that sounds fascinating.
Well, it's really musically the wild, wild west.
Okay.
Fastest gunslinger type thing. So you pick up an instrument, it's serious business. This is like maybe in some other communities, you maybe have hoop dreams and you're going to be an NBA star. In New Orleans, you pick up an instrument and that could change your life. So you practice, you take it seriously, and there's another 7-year-old playing drums next to you, and you're thinking about which one of you is going to be the high school drum major. You're not just having fun playing instruments. You are cutting your teeth on that instrument to change your life with it. And people who have been able to change the community have risen to a certain status or success or income opportunity to where they could give back to the community. So it's a way to get to another place in life, to take care of your family, to give back to the community, and to really just have some purpose and some kind of outlet. So the teachers take it very seriously. It's everything is life or death, pass or fail. So they ask a question. You don't just have to have the answer. You have to have it fast enough. And you have to answer it the right way. And the right way means I am conditioning you for a professional arena. This is not just a classroom or a gig. This is, I want to teach you how to handle yourself overseas, away from your family, to be able to do business, put on a good show, maintain the legacy of New Orleans. So the proud heritage is a part of the indoctrination in every little thing. So, you know, when you're a kid, it can be nerve-wracking, but you go home, you practice harder, and you come back and you want to show your teacher, you don't just ask me a question and I'm going to have the answer tomorrow. So it's always serious business.
And, you know, the beautiful thing about that is you're talking about learning how to become an instrumentalist and a real musician. Because one of the things that I hear a lot, especially when people talk about contemporary music across all genres, is that we've got a lot of performers, we've got a lot of singers, but we don't find as many musicians, or at least we don't hear about them. So to hear that you were encouraged to be a musician and a master at your craft is refreshing for someone like me. And I'm wondering, is everyone classically trained? Did you go through that process of actually learning from a teacher and for everyone? Or
Yeah, me personally, and I think Jay's experience too, is in New Orleans. Yeah, you go to school, and you definitely have to learn classical technique, how to perform certain actual compositions. But for the most part, the street, meaning the street music, brass bands, jazz, and everything like that, it's what you're really moving towards. You use your classical training to kind of give you the facilities to do maybe something, on the jazz side, on a contemporary side. So you have to learn both. It's crucially important. So a lot of stereotypes go into musicians, especially New Orleans musicians. Oh, they can't read music. They can't. No, it's like you have to go through all of that. It's a real system.
Sinice, because you're a flautist.
Yes.
So I imagine that did you go through now where are you from originally?
I'm from Pasadena, California.
Okay, so you went through a slightly different experience.
Right,
then.
right. I just grew up. I decided to play the flute. It's just something that I wanted to do. And I was classically trained, had a private teacher, and was a part of different groups, like ensembles and all that great stuff. But, as far as the other side, as far as like the street side, that didn't happen until I recently moved to New Orleans, But, over the years working with Waterseed, I've definitely learned a lot about having more feeling, and more soul, because they kind of talk about me. Pretty bad, but
do they?
Yeah.
She's
got soul.
Does she? Yeah, of course.
Now that they tell me that, taught me,
Well, that's good.
Teachers.
Or maybe heart. Like that's what I always hear people talk about. Heart.
Yeah.
Even when you talk about athletes, because you made that comparison between what it's like growing up wanting to be an athlete. There's that heart, that desire to win and be the best. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, we're talking about the music. Let's get into the music. So we're going to see a video and be able to hear songs. So I'm just going to kind of let you all choose which one do you think would be sort of a perfect example of where your sound is now.
Let's go with I'm Trying. I'm Trying is a song we wrote and it's really uplifting. What's great about it is the video shows New Orleans, and it's just a video that encourages people to try to do their best. You may not be there, but never give up on what you think or where you think you should be, and also bring some people with you.
Good. Okay. Well, let's see that now. Thank you.
I've got to change the world to I gotta change the world to what it used to be. Gotta change the world. We're gonna take it higher to a place where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be. Yeah. Gotta change. And I'm trying. I gotta change the world to what it used to be. We're gonna take it higher to a place where we're supposed to be. It takes all of you and me, yeah. And I'm trying. I gotta change the world to
Welcome back to Soul Lounge. We are inside the VIP room with Waterseed. So we talked the whole first half about your experiences coming up in New Orleans and coming together in New Orleans. And in that, you talked a little bit about the effect that Hurricane Katrina had on you as a group. But I'm interested to know about the effect that it had on you as a songwriting collective. Because I hear so many artists talk about when they see things that affect them negatively, positively, or even if it's sort of an indifferent feeling, that it changes the way they approach their art. And I'm wondering if that was the case for you, and if so, how?
That's great. That's a great question. Something like Hurricane Katrina, no matter what level you're affected on individually, you see clearly as possible, that you're not the only one affected. So there is immediate attention brought to our connectedness as people. And there is also made obvious the fact that there are people it happened directly to, there are people it didn't happen directly to. The people it happened directly to can see the connection between the two. The people it did not happen directly to cannot as easily see the connection. So it makes you want to be able to speak to people. Not just to say, look, this could happen to anyone, be warned, be careful, but also just to express gratitude for what you do have, who you do have, because of the things that are shifting into perspective. And also, sometimes things can be handled better, handled differently, and you'd like to be able to express with some level of influence what you think, what you feel. And music has always been able to do that, whether it's social or political. And all of that gets mixed into how you're affected as a songwriter. I mean, if you are in need of some type of assistance and you can't get it from a particular agency, you know, and I'll be vague on purpose, and you feel some way about that, you can write about it. And that can speak to people, or it can raise awareness. Or if you have that uncertainty about how your loved ones are faring because you can't communicate with them or reach them, you write about that. So the way that can affect you as a collective is that you each have your own take, your own perspective. And even within this own group, some of us evacuated, some of us didn't experience that, but are connected closely to people who did. So that's a whole nother perspective there. Just getting to know how someone was affected is its own role to play in how it all unfolded.
Wow. And then when you come together to write, what is that process like? I'm fascinated by songwriters, period. So do the four of you sit down? Does one person come to the group and say, here, I've got an idea, and then you just kind of play with it?
Well, it's kind of all of the above. We have several different approaches. Sometimes someone brings a song that's pretty much complete, and then we, kind of put our spices on it, or it's a song that's sort of just an idea, and then we develop it in that way. And then sometimes we just come up with something completely new, just all together.
Okay. All right. Well, now we are broadcast internationally all over the world. And as I was reading through the bio, I came across a piece that said that you all spent some time in Russia.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Tell me about it. I want to know about that. What was going on there? How was it?
Well, we spent 3 months in Russia, and I'm sure we all, can tell you our different versions of what our experience was like. But I can tell you it opened my eyes in a lot of different ways, and I became that much more appreciative of the things that we do have here in the States. And I can just tell you that there were some times that perhaps I took a cold shower, and we get used to those luxuries and comforts and things like that. But actually, it was a wonderful experience. It was a really pivotal time for me. It also gave us an opportunity to hone our crafts even more. We spent a lot of time in close quarters, so I believe that it was a bonding experience for all of us. And the people there, they really welcomed us with open arms. They really enjoyed the music. They were excited about the fact that we were in their country and that we were American and that we looked different from them. And they loved it. And I was so happy because I wasn't sure what type of response it would be, but I was really pleased that they liked us so much.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, especially from soul and R&B and jazz artists, that when they go to Europe, they feel a sense of freedom because they're not boxed in by these genre boxes that we like to put artists in here in the States.
Yeah.
And you found that to be the case. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they appreciate the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest benefits to it was that we could go write and compose and come up with concepts without any static or noise from anybody else, because we were in some ways isolated. So when we had an idea, it was our idea that we could develop without any outside influences. So it was great in that way, in that it allowed us for 3 months to kind of do what we thought should be done with music. It was a great experience.
So Wonder Love 2, then, that is the most recent project. What makes this one special? What makes this one unique? Well, all of your music is unique. I don't even think that's a fair question. But what makes this one different than the others?
What I'll say about this one is a part 2 of 1. So there's Wonder Love 1 and Wonder Love 2. This album is, I'm not going to say the end of a period, but it's definitely Wonder Love. Those tunes were floating around for a while, and we kind of decided, let's finally really record them and release them because people should hear them. So in the phase of Wonder Love, it's kind of like, okay, let's go into our vault, let's get the tunes we love, let's release them, put a few new ones on there. So for me, it's really special because in a lot of ways, Wonder Love 1 and Wonder Love 2 is kind of like a rebirth of the band in a way. And it's great to be, now we're out of that birthing kind of period. So now we're moving to a period where our little kid is starting to, maybe walk a little bit. So you'll always be able to go back to Wonder Love 1 and 2 and put your finger down and say right there, kind of like Stevie Wonder, and I always harp on this album. He had these albums, but then when Music of My Mind came out, it's like, bam, Stevie Wonder, from that point on, super legend. And so hopefully history will say that about Wonder Love 1 and Wonder Love 2.
Absolutely.
And I would like to add, it's a very honest CD, both in terms of the lyrics and also just the overall sound. It's more gritty, a dirtier sound, so to speak, in terms of dealing with the instrumentation. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. More street. Not
Yes.
a heart.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
Raw. Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. Well, we're going to hear a second song and see a video for a second one. But I have a little game that I like to play with everyone who comes into the VIP lounge. So I'm just going to throw some questions out. Don't be afraid. It's really not that bad. I'm going to throw some questions out, and whoever wants to answer them, and they're musical questions, can. So When you are kind of in and around the house, a Sunday afternoon, cleaning up, going about life, what are you usually listening to? What is like your Sunday afternoon soundtrack?
Sade.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I'm in right now. I've been doing a band from New Orleans called Dumpster Funk. That's what I've been listening to.
Dumpster Funk. I even like that name. Okay.
Gregory Porter.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, we play him a lot. Okay.
Probably some Quincy Jones scores.
Okay. So it's Friday night. Had a great date. Things are getting a little romantic. What are we connecting to? What's on that Slow Jams tape?
Isley Brothers.
If you're doing slow jams, you got to put on Marvin Gaye, Trouble Man.
Okay.
Some actually Sade.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Good one. Good one.
Those are all good ones. I mean, can I put those on a playlist?
Yeah,
And
right.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. All right. What lifts your spirits? You're down. You got to get back to where you can just go to work and do what you're here to do. Who or what kind of music lifts your spirits?
I would have to say across the board, it would be Stevie Wonder for me.
Okay.
You would say that. Stevie Wonder.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely agree with Stevie Wonder. I guess I would just add Erykah Badu.
Okay.
I agree with those, but I probably put on some Michael, too. Some Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire does the same. So
okay.
I'll take some of that, too.
Okay. Yeah. You're just going to put a whole collective. Yeah, exactly. Y2C Slow Jams tape. Life tape, actually, right? Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
it's
you.
such a pleasure
Thanks.
having you
Thank
here. I'm so glad that you all could. I know you've been busy and you're touring around, and I'm glad that you spent some time here inside the VIP room. So what I would like to do is have you throw it to another song, another video from your album.
All right. Well,
Let's go with
Show Work Improve.
Show Work Improve.
Show Work Improve.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, Show Work Improve from Water Seed, and thank you so much for hanging out with us inside the VIP lounge. Can't wait to see you again. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.
special about you, girl, and it's the way you move. Out of doubt, I can feel your energy. Sure looks good on you. Ain't no man asking for a chance to dance, but you played it cool. You know how you do. It ain't my style, but I'd hate to lose this chance to dance with you. Work and prove. Show and work and prove. Yeah. I ain't afraid. No, I ain't afraid. 'Cause I can handle your looks, your charms, your style. I ain't afraid. Myself. Oh no. Been on and work and work.